Hello, Mark Roy Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today I have Halee Surach and Lauren Erndteman from Marcellus, Michigan as my guest. Thanks for joining us.
Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Thanks
So
for
how's
having
it? Well, thank you for being my guest. So how's everything going today in Michigan?
Wonderful. It's sunny, which is a rare thing in Michigan, so we take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sunny's always good, especially in the spring. I mean, getting after. I don't know how your winter was, but did you have a pretty rough winter or?
It was pretty mild as far as the snow and the
Okay.
cold, but it was just gloomy and gray and
Oh,
Very
so
up and down.
very yeah. So we're
that
very
definitely wears on a
excited about
person.
this.
Yes, yes. No, Michigan's beautiful, but never been to Michigan at that time of the year. So, yeah, we got to know each other. Well, Lauren was 2019, and then Haley was first time was 2020 when I met you and
Yeah.
Jeffrey. So, which time flies. I can't believe how long that's been already. So, and I knew you were doing, well, I'll just tell people, what are you doing that's really changing the world, um, helping people catch their dreams? So, what are you and Lauren both doing?
Well, our main focus is helping teenagers around the world to have their dream come true. Many of them have seen so much about the United States and want to come here as an international student to attend high school and live with a real American family.
Cool.
And so my focus and Lauren is to help them realize that dream. And as we talk, I'm sure you'll ask some of the other benefits, but um, in doing that, we've realized that it's really accomplished a lot of things for families as well, not just the students. So it's a win-win.
It is win-win. So what was the impetus that initially got you started doing this?
Well, I actually wanted to do this in high school. I thought it would be cool.
Oh, okay.
Hadn't heard much about exchange students, and I thought that would be really fun. But we already had a big family and
Uh-huh.
a full house, so there wasn't really a lot of space for another
Right.
person. And then after I got out of high school and started my own life, got married, had kids, it kind of you get busy in that,
True.
the
Yeah,
toddlers
yeah,
and the
yeah.
babies.
Life
And then it
happens.
kind of, once our kids started to get into middle school age, and of course they're pretty independent, and the thought kind of came back into my mind that, oh, now I could host,
Right.
I make
Right.
those decisions now. Um, so we just started researching on Google, and that's how we ended up. And now we're 10 years later,
Wow.
um,
Okay.
having
Okay.
hosted several students from all different countries around the world. And
Awesome.
so it just started with an interest in hosting, and then I loved the mission and thought this would be a cool thing to do for a living. So,
Yes. So just Googling it. That's how you found out this company then. So
yeah,
tell it.
actually, at the first company that I went to, I filled out an inquiry, and for those in the business world, this is why you contact the inquiries right away because I filled out an inquiry form and I waited probably 2 or 3 days and never heard from anyone.
Oh,
So, and we were excited. This was a new adventure we wanted to host. So we went and Googled again and we found another company. They
okay.
contacted me the same day and we started the process. And then a few days later, I heard from the original company and I told them, I'm sorry, we we went with another company because you hadn't got back with us. So
Right.
in the business world, that's a lesson.
True. That's true. Yeah.
Contact those inquiries right away. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Didn't have any, and then you had. I mean, that's cool. So if you stayed after you got started with that, this is still the company you're with now.
Actually, I made a change about well, last early fall, made a
Okay.
change.
Okay.
I was with the same organization and um, just I don't know. I what felt like I wasn't going anywhere with that
Okay.
organization. Um, was open to something new, and I've been with this new organization, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually had the opportunity to go out to their headquarters in New York in October.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely fell in love with how they run the company. It's
That's
very
worth a lot.
family oriented,
Uh-huh.
um, and just very aligned with a lot of the views and ideas and the things that I think are important in regards to exchange. They really value the host families.
Very important.
So it just felt like a really, really natural, good fit. And it was time for a change. So
Yeah, change
I'm
can be
really
good.
happy with it though. But
That's
yeah,
very good. That's good.
Yeah,
So
it's a positive change.
it is. So Lauren, telling the guests, what did you do before you did this?
I worked with children a lot growing up.
Okay.
I actually volunteered internationally for a month in Africa,
Oh,
working with
wow.
young children. So I've always loved working with kids, but I also have always loved being able to travel and see different
Right.
parts of the world. And previously, I was working with children with autism, and that was great. But the income was just kind of not as steady, and
Yeah, that's
I had
important.
this opportunity to work with Halee with, helping make students' dreams come true, high school students, with bringing them
Okay.
over here to the U.S. and
Okay, very
um,
cool.
yeah.
So, okay, if somebody was interested, I mean, how do you find people to, I mean, okay, yourself, do you get a list of people or do you get to choose the students you want to place or how does that work?
Well, they apply on their side of the world. They
Okay.
apply with an agent,
Okay.
and we work with those agents. So we get for lack of a better word, a pool of students that
Okay.
all want to come from different countries, and then our organization divides them out. So that all kids have an advocate, someone that's trying to get them
Sure.
placed in a
Okay.
family. So we have students that are assigned to us. Sometimes we have a family that's looking for something very specific, like maybe they
Mm-hmm.
love chess and we don't have any chess players. So,
Right.
we can go into the other regions and ask for
Okay.
specific hobbies and things.
Okay.
But then we just start the search, looking for the host families. We work a lot with schools and libraries. In past years, some of the Facebook groups that maybe were very specific, like their horseback
Mm-hmm.
riding groups or something,
Right. Right.
those would be really good tools to help us find families that have similar interests to some of the students.
Okay.
Um, hasn't been as productive the past year or two on Facebook, still a little bit, but it's requiring a lot of um, organic outreach in the communities and
Okay.
trying to meet people that way.
Okay, cool. So you could go, I mean, I guess from Lauren, you can go anywhere in the United States to place the children, or is there just the United States that you're limited to, or?
Yeah, so we place anywhere in the United States. We, focus on Michigan, but we place anywhere. We have some people right now in Minnesota. You have
Okay.
someone in
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin, Las
Virginia.
Vegas, Virginia. So we do place, and we have other teams
Oh, really?
around the United States.
Okay, so do you work with these other teams then? I guess you
Yeah,
probably do.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so if you have somebody that's looking for that area, you just ask that team if they can place them, or how does that work then?
Yeah, we work together. We help if we're the ones that know the family and have met them, we'll help
Mm-hmm.
them select a student that's good for their family and get started with the application. And then we let whoever that local person is work with the school because they're in the community, and do their home visit to get them
Okay.
approved. So, it's really a smooth process. It doesn't take too long. I actually had a family apply last night. Took them about an hour to do the online application,
Wow.
and she's in Texas. So now I'm going to connect with the representative there, and she'll
Oh,
work with the
okay.
school, and it's really smooth.
Mhm.
Kind of hand them off over to that. So,
Yeah.
okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. So,
And the
okay,
local
go
the
ahead.
local person then supports the family and the student throughout the process, like while the student's here throughout
Okay.
the program.
So
So
when they
they
hand
meet them
you
at the home.
when you hand them off, then they take over basically then. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Haley, when did you start hosting your own students right off when you started doing this, or did that come
Yeah,
a
that
little
was
later?
actually the first thing that we did
Oh,
was,
was it? Okay.
yeah, we started hosting, and within a few months, I was at an orientation with that organization, and I started meeting students outside of just our own student we were hosting. I was meeting kids from everywhere, and I was
Okay.
helping as a volunteer, and I loved it. So
Uh-huh.
I did that for about a year, just volunteering, meeting kids from everywhere. I still keep in touch with them,
Cool.
and then there was an opening here in Southwest Michigan for a staff position. And they said, would you like to do the same thing you're doing as a volunteer, but be paid to do it now? And I was like, absolutely. They're
Sign
like,
me up,
we're a
yeah.
nonprofit, so you're not going to get rich. It's a nonprofit
Uh-huh.
organization, but at least you'll be paid for your efforts. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, no, that's a win. So it's a nonprofit though. So
Yes, yes.
okay, that's cool too. Then, so I did not realize that. So, so I know Lauren and you guys can't do one yet. What is the age where you can start having exchange students?
25.
25. Okay. So, so okay. Do you vet these people that are interested? I'm sure you do before you place them, or how do you do that process?
Go ahead then.
So there's the application process where it asks like a series of questions as far as like where they live, who lives in their house, different things like that. They are required to do a background check.
Okay.
And then there's also references. So we call their references, and
Very
then
good.
whether, if they're in Michigan, then someone, either us or another area representative, will do their home interview, make sure that the pictures that they upload of their home
Actually,
match what you're seeing.
important.
And then it all gets submitted to our office, and then the office will go over everything, check
Oh,
everything.
wow.
And then once the student arrives, 60 days after, like within the first 60 days, someone else also has to go and check the home and make sure that it matches the pictures on the application and what the person who did the home interview.
Very good. You can't be too safe in today's world, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So
it sounds like a lot, but it's actually, I mean, we can get families completely vetted within 48 hours, as long as they're available. So it's not
very
too much
quick.
of a time constraint. We just have to make sure we're following the Department of State guidelines.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's all that I never thought about too with the state. I mean,
Yeah.
but does each state have a different guideline?
No, it's pretty much national. The only
Okay.
thing that can be different is sometimes schools have different requirements as
Oh,
far
really?
as what age they allow to come on exchange.
Okay.
Every school is a little bit different. Michigan, the schools are very flexible and easy to work with.
Good.
Some other states are too, but Michigan has been really, really one of the biggest states for exchange
Okay.
because their schools are so flexible. They want the
Okay.
people to come in and
It's good. I don't understand. I don't understand why they would make it difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
that is such a great deal. So
we agree.
and I know you guys you're hosting two right now, aren't you, Haley? Two different
Yes,
girls.
yes,
Okay.
we're hosting two. We actually have a girl from France and one from Italy. And we've
Awesome.
hosted students from Germany, Finland, Sweden, Thailand,
Africa.
South Africa, Romania. I'm just looking at the picture wall.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Make sure I don't miss any, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
Denmark.
Denmark. We've hosted a
That is so awesome.
lot. So yeah, having
Oh.
3 sons, we have given them a lot of sisters.
Yeah, and
Well,
that's cool. You can't have too big a family, and you probably keep in touch with pretty much all of them still.
Yeah, absolutely. Some on a daily basis, but some weekly, some monthly, just based on their schedules. But we actually had a 25th anniversary party last summer, and many were able to come home. We call this home. They do too.
Sure,
So
right.
many were able to come and stay with us for a week or two, and it was just really, really. It was a moment in time that was just really special for not
Yeah.
only us but them too. It was really cool.
I could definitely see that. So anybody that maybe they're not old enough that have gone through the exchange program have started doing it themselves. The company, do you know of?
They're not quite old enough yet.
I
The
wondered.
first-
Okay.
The first one is actually getting married next June,
Okay. Cool.
which is just it's crazy, they
Uh-huh.
they grow up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then another one is engaged, but they're mostly
wow.
right now college, university
Okay.
age.
Okay.
Most are working. So yeah, but all of them say they would like to host at some point.
No. I could.
We've actually had two, one of our German girls and one from Romania, who they went back home after their exchange year and then they came back here to
Okay.
study at college. So they're
Nice.
still a very big part of our lives on a regular basis. So
I think that is so cool. And I mean, like we were talking, this is the Dreamcatcher podcast. I mean, okay, I got to ask both of you, what were your dreams when you were growing up? Because most people don't remember their dreams, or they long ago thought they were not possible. So Haley, first, what was one of your dreams when you were growing up?
oh, Mark, I was gonna be a singer. I was gonna be the pop.
Awesome. So, wow, do you sing?
I do. I love to, but it's just more of a hobby. I think that was the big career dream, but
Mm-hmm.
path to get there is very, It's
True.
slim. But ultimately, my biggest goal was Jeff and I had been together through middle school and high school. My
Okay.
biggest goal was honestly just to get married, and I wanted a family.
Sure.
That
Okay.
was really my big goal. So,
Uh-huh.
but the
That's a
dream
very
was
neat.
to be a singer.
Okay. I have to remember that. Okay. So, Lauren, what did you, I mean,
At one point, I wanted to be a lawyer or work in like criminal justice, and that's
oh,
actually what my
wow.
degree in from
Okay.
college is.
Okay.
But I also really, I mean, I was 12 when I started working at a daycare. I would ride my bike over there, and
Oh,
so I've always been around kids. And before that, I would
yeah.
volunteer with my mom in the church nursery. So it was
Cool.
natural for me to always be, around children or,
Yep.
people who are younger than me and help. So I always knew something in that aspect. I didn't always know what that would look like.
Right. I can
It's
understand
kind of
that.
changed throughout the years, but I
Yep.
like where I'm at now. And it's combined also with, like my love for traveling and just getting to know more of the world. So it's worked out
I
good.
hear you there. I
And I
definitely hear
also
you
know
there.
that her secret dream is just to live on a farm full of chickens. She likes
Yeah.
chickens.
We're
Yes,
penguins.
I see you've got some of those right now. So,
Yes.
so okay, is that really your dream to be on a farm and just kind of have
I
more?
mean, Carter and I have talked about, like, kind of jokingly, but like in a retirement joking plan that, like, oh yeah, we would have like the biggest chicken and penguin farm in Michigan or
I
something,
love
like
that
in
so
the
much.
US. But I'm like, I don't know how lucrative a chicken and penguin farm is. It's probably just a lot of expense. So
I wonder how they would get along together.
I don't know.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That would be unique. I love that.
It
That's
would
so
be. I mean,
cool.
maybe we would have a lot of people visit because it
I
would be
think
a
you
very
would.
unique park. So
I think that would be very much. Or where you went and saw the penguins the other day was pretty cool. That's
yeah.
pretty awesome. So that must have been one of your dreams. You sound like you like penguins. So
Yes, I love penguins, and my mom for an early birthday present got us tickets to go see. I spent, I think it was 40 minutes sitting with them, and they just
aw.
climbed all over you. Like, when you saw it with those pictures of them on my lap, like they jumped up. It's not like I picked them up. So that was just the
So
coolest thing is that, they just, it's like
so
you're
they're
just
very
living
friendly
within
then.
them. Yeah, like,
I've never been that close to penguin, but that was so awesome. So
yeah, it was
okay.
very.
So where do you see like 5 years with this business? I just continuing more on, or do you have different tangents you want to go with this business?
Yeah, I think that I will always be involved in some capacity. I
Okay.
don't know if it's always going to be, being hands-on with 70 students being
Yeah, that's a
placed
lot.
throughout the country, or if, it would be eventually a volunteer type thing. I don't know, but at least for the next 5 years, I love where I am, and I
Okay.
can't see myself doing anything different.
Right.
On the hosting front, we're kind of taking that year by year right now.
Okay.
Um, Mostly just where our own kids are in life. If we start
Sure.
to get really busy with
Yeah.
weddings and grandkids and stuff, it may change our perspective a little bit
True.
on
Yeah.
hosting, because our priorities will shift a little bit. But for
Definitely.
now, we're just doing our thing. We enjoy it and it's working. So,
Okay. Okay. So I know you like to travel. I mean, Haley, you like to travel quite a bit too, then?
I wouldn't say it's one of my big.
Okay.
I love being home. I really do.
Okay.
I love being home. It's always fun to go. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a
Right.
spring break trip. I'm ready to get out of the
Sure.
winter. I love that, but I would not consider myself I don't love to fly. I do it, but I don't love it.
Okay. I
We've
can
been
understand
to
that.
Mexico and Jamaica, and I'm like, I can drive to Alabama or the East Coast and I can have my beach there. I don't need to go
Yep.
to
Yep.
all these different countries, but we're going to at some point because we have a lot of people we love that require travel. So,
True. Yeah.
um,
No, that is
yeah.
very true. So, okay, if somebody, I mean, can they approach you if they were interested from after they see this? How do they
Oh, yeah.
approach you if they're interested in having an exchange student?
Well, I don't know if with it you could have a contact, but we actually just have a web page that they
Just
could
web
go
page. Okay.
to apply. We created a link tree just because it's a little
Okay.
more with like the student profiles, and we have videos there. It's just a little more user, I guess, interactive.
Right.
So I could share that as well.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
But yeah, we have contact information. It's super easy. You just get on and start an
Okay.
application, and from there we email, we text, we call. We're very
Okay.
available. So
And if
So,
you have
go ahead, Lauren.
questions before wanting to apply, you think we can have like our emails or phone numbers there.
Okay,
So
very good.
people can reach
So,
out if they have any questions.
is there a cost to the people to get into the program?
not at all. I mean,
Okay.
the only thing is you have another mouth to feed for those. Either
True.
we have semester students that come for 5 months, just for one semester, and we also have the year-long students, which isn't a full year, but they come for the school year. So 9 to 10 months. The students actually come with their own health insurance, their own spending money, their own phone that they pay
Oh, wow.
for. So they're ready to be here. They just want to be part of a family. They need a place to live.
Okay.
And so the host family provides a safe, comfortable environment for them to live in,
Very
and
nice.
the basic meals. But that's really it.
Okay.
Which has made it doable for families that are on a budget.
Right, right. And I didn't realize that's a lot that they come with then. So that's definitely a good deal. So, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So have you, I mean, do you ever get anybody from Australia or New Zealand or?
We do. It's a little more rare.
Okay.
The English speaking countries don't typically come. Well, a big part of why people come is they want to be totally immersed in the English language.
Okay.
So sometimes if they're coming from an English speaking country, they will for the experience, but typically it's more the people who don't have English accessible to them every day.
Okay. That makes sense too. So,
Maybe for future careers or things like that. So
okay. So, okay, Dreamcatcher podcast. If somebody's on the fence on this, why would you tell them to go forward with this? I mean, what are some things that people hesitate at doing this? I mean, how do you get over
well,
those?
the first question that you asked about cost is typically one of the things, is this going to cost
Sure.
us a lot of money? And it really doesn't. I think that if I had to sum up in one sentence what it's meant for our family, it's really kept our family traditions alive and exciting.
Okay. Very cool.
Some things I think over time can start to fade.
I
We
agree.
have our 3 sons, and
Mhm.
when they're young, it's fun to go to the pumpkin patch and pick out a pumpkin and carve
Mhm.
it, or go to the Christmas tree farm. Those
Yep.
things are fun
Amen.
with our kids, and eventually, maybe they're too cool for that, or they just outgrow it.
Right.
And it's something that, because we're hosting exchange students, we want to show them a lot of our traditions and experiences like that. So we do it year after year, and it's kept our kids completely involved and excited about doing those things still, even as adults.
Which is so cool.
Because
Yeah.
they're all adults now. So
Hmm.
it's been really cool because every year we see it through new eyes, with new eyes. They've never been to the pumpkin patch or carved
Right.
pumpkin. So it's really kept our traditions very strong, and that's
love
really
that.
important to me. So that's been really cool to see.
I love that. Well, like seeing it like a child for the first time, seeing something
Yeah.
that is so cool. And traditions are so important, and families, what it's all about. So, I mean, if anything
Yeah.
to keep that going. So no, I think that is very, very cool. So I know Jeff helps the ones you have learn how to cook apple pie and stuff.
He always teaches the girls that we host how to do it. So we go apple picking is another one of those traditions that
Cool.
we actually didn't start until a couple years ago, but we're enjoying it.
Okay.
And then they come back and make an apple pie, and that's been really cool. And he's also the soup guy. He makes really
Yep.
good soups. So yeah, he's loved to teach them. I'm actually more on the learning side. They come with different desserts and things that they make,
Oh yeah.
or baking that they like to do. So I've actually been able to be on the learning end of a lot of the
That would
things
be
that they
cool.
do, which is really cool.
I never thought about that side, but yeah, they're different. Their traditions and recipes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, most of their countries bake a lot more than most of the traditional households here, because we're all about convenience here, and
true.
we're so busy with kids and sports and running around that making
Yep.
the time to do those things Just typically isn't there, but a lot of other countries value that, and it's been cool to have that brought into our home. So,
Okay, okay. So, okay, I see you still, I see you place people all the time. Is there a season for that, or is it just go year round where you're placing people?
Um, kind of both. So right now is like our main until August, we are placing the students that arrive in August
Okay,
for the
okay,
either August to December, early January as a semester, or the students that are
okay,
here for the full school year. Um,
okay,
and then come September, October, November, then we're placing students that arrive in January, from January to
okay.
June. And then the cycle just kind of repeats. Then
Just like
once
that.
January
Okay,
starts, then our focus shifts again to the students arriving in August.
okay. That makes a lot of sense. So, what are some other things that the audience needs to know about what you two do?
I think it's really cool to think of the impact that we can make. Um, I think that a lot of times when I'm talking to potential host families, I do exactly what I did with you and kind of dumb it down,
Mm-hmm.
to,
Sure.
oh, they have a place to sleep and you can have an extra plate at your table, you can host. And
Right,
that's
right.
true, but I really think that if people realize the impact it could make for that student and for their family, um, I shouldn't dumb it down so much because it really is a big deal. It's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, for one student, it's, I mean, an entire new sister. I mean, we have one right now, like the family's already, it's a month out, and they're already, how do we let this person go home now that they've
Yeah,
become a part of our family?
I can understand
Or
that.
the student that didn't have a father back home and now has a host father, and now
Oh,
that's
wow.
like their father figure. So sometimes you make a bigger impact than you even know as a
and
family.
Realize,
career
yeah.
choices.
Yeah.
People come here and they get different perspectives. Um, and they take that home and it doesn't just go away because they went home. It
Right.
stays, it stays with them. There's students that go back to their countries and start new traditions with their own families that they learned here. There's students that begin new hobbies here that they end up keeping with them.
Sure.
Some kids come here and they do a vlog or they do journaling that they've never
Right,
done
right.
before, but now they have a bigger reason to. So
Wow.
it's really cool to think
It
of
is.
the impact that you can make. And really the bigger picture, Mark, is that
Yes.
it's the cultural understanding. Without meeting
Work.
people from these countries, all we have is our own stereotypes and own perspectives and own
Yep.
ideas. But when you actually have someone in your home or in your community, that you meet from another one of these countries and you can hear firsthand from them what it's
Mm-hmm.
like in their country, it really does break down stereotypes and
Which
helps
is
you
great.
understand other cultures, which is, gosh, we need more of that right now.
Oh, amen.
So
Yes.
it's been a really cool thing to do. And some of these kids, like in the smaller rural schools, they're never going to be in Thailand or Sweden or
Mm-hmm.
Mexico even.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not. And for them to be able to experience a little bit of that in their own
Mm-hmm.
school in a small
Right.
little village,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's a cool thing. They'll remember that forever too, the local kids
True.
here.
Yeah, the
We're
memories.
connecting different parts of the world without them even having, this part of the world have to go over there and they're able to understand and see a different part of the world without having to be there because
Yeah.
these students are bringing it here.
True. Never thought about that aspect too. So no, we do need more of that. We definitely need. And like you say, it's kind of like traveling. Until you travel to the actual area, you don't realize you hear all this stuff. But when you see it in person, it's so much different.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah, and that is I hadn't thought about that, but that is. And so you're catching dreams on both sides. I mean, you're catching they're living the American dream and being inundated with that, and then taking that back to I mean, talk about ripple. You guys are doing so
Yeah.
much ripple for good in the world,
It's
and
really cool too to see their stereotypes be like broken down. You know, other
uh huh.
countries, the way that they see America or American people, um, when they're here and surrounded by it, they're like, oh,
Hmm.
this isn't like what we heard in the news, or this isn't like that movie we saw. It's a lot different. Both,
Hmm.
um, not everybody eats fast food every day, like
Right.
you,
Yes.
like they
Like,
see, in,
yes.
um, oh, my high school isn't actually like High School Musical, the movie.
Yeah. You just break out
That-
and dance and sing.
People
all
aren't
the time.
dancing and singing down the hallways.
oh, I guess I could see they would think that maybe. So, okay.
That's the way it's portrayed. So
Oh, wow.
it's really a great learning experience. And we overall we want them, they're coming here to study in an American high school. So it's a bit of an academic experience, and that's actually the visa they hold is an education visa. So they do need to be enrolled in a school. But we
Okay.
also don't want them studying 2 or 3 hours every night when they get home. We want it to be a full cultural experience
Exactly.
where
Yeah.
they can go to their younger siblings' little league game, or they can go out to ice cream with the family. They can be part of the family without having to be bogged down with academics
Yeah.
the whole time they're here. So
Or
Yeah.
be able to be involved in that school sport or
yeah, because many of them don't experience sports, like they do here in the US. They don't have
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely not any school sports where they all come from. It's if
That's
you're in
interesting.
any type of sport, it's more like how we would consider club sports,
Okay. Really? Okay.
or
That's
like
interesting.
travel ball, or whatever.
Right. Uh-huh.
And that's their only options there. So when they come here and they see, oh wow, the same people that I'm on the soccer team with are the same people I was in English class with, that's pretty cool. It's their friends
Yeah.
from school that they play with. So that's a really cool thing for the students to see.
That is. No, I think that is. So okay. So you got this. I mean, I mean, if you stop doing this, Haley, I mean, what would you keep on doing an aspect of it if you didn't have
I
exchange
think
students?
so. I think that I'll always be involved in some way. If not for my career choice, I think that I would definitely volunteer, potentially still host, um,
Okay.
things like that. It's part of who we are now. So
Okay. Well,
there's
I
no
know,
turning back.
no, I hear you. It does become part of you. And I also know you do photography. You have some awesome photos
I
I've seen over
do.
the
Yeah,
past.
I actually prior to exchange, I had a studio
Okay.
that eventually I kind of outgrew because so many people wanted to have outdoor photos. I was like, why do I have a studio indoors if nobody wants indoor photos?
That's
So
interesting. Okay.
yeah, there was a year that I did 22 weddings.
Whoa, that's
I
a
think I
lot of
burnt my,
weddings.
yeah, I think I burnt myself out a little bit when I kept
I can
hearing the
see
same
why.
song at the end of the night being played and danced to, and I was just like, I want to go home.
I can understand that
The
feeling.
the
Oh,
romantic
wow.
aspect out of weddings for a while for me, but
Oh,
no, I did enjoy it and I loved it. I do love photography, and that's something that I'll probably never do again as a career, but definitely pick it up again as a hobby because
okay.
with our phones, we just, everybody has it so accessible.
It
But I would really
is.
like to get the camera back out and
Yeah. Yeah. The phones are good, but you can still, it's amazing what you can do with the
yeah,
camera you would be using. There's so
absolutely.
much more. So okay. I'll ask both of you. Retirement. Will you retire, or is it just going to keep on doing what you enjoy? Or have you even thought about it?
I think I'll always do something.
Okay.
Um,
I'm the same one.
something
think I could never
productive.
do
I don't think I could just chill,
Mhm.
you
No, I
know.
hear you.
Even
Me
if
too.
it's something that I like to do. I love the before and after aspects. So I'm like refinishing furniture or something,
Okay.
and upcycling things and selling them. That's always been
Cool.
a big interest. I've never sold, but like
Okay.
dressers and stuff that I've redone for our home, and
Okay.
um, that's a really rewarding thing to do. So I could see
I can
myself
see that.
potentially doing something like that. Um, we have chickens now, so maybe selling eggs and getting more farm products. I don't know.
Hey, it's the beginning. I mean, next thing, I
We'll
mean,
see. We'll see.
chickens, and then we're gonna expand the livestock.
Absolutely, I'll bake some bread.
Awesome.
We've gotten into the homesteading side of things here this past year, so yeah,
Cool.
it's kind of fun.
That is. No. And one thing, when you have chickens and all that fresh, when you go to the store, it is so much better. What the
Yeah.
eggs. We actually have a neighbor who gives us lots of eggs. And I mean, even if my eyes closed, I would be able to tell, what egg is
Oh
which.
yeah,
They
yeah,
are so much more flavor, and the yolk's so much
yeah,
more
Yes.
darker
Yeah.
yellow.
yeah,
So I think that's something that our society has lost a lot of. The stuff we get even the chicken you get in the store is so processed and everything else. So I think
Yeah.
homesteading, that's pretty cool. So you're probably okay. So I'll see you doing a blog or a vlog or something, the
Who
homesteading
knows?
thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure your boys would convince you to make some sort of YouTube
Uh,
video about
I'm sure
the
that's true
activities
too.
that we're doing.
Yep. I am positive of that. So have a couple
What
channels.
about Lauren? Are you going to retire ever?
I don't know. Like you said, I think I could never see myself like doing completely nothing. Like I'd always have to do something, which I mean, we already have so many projects. I mean, we have buildings, so I'm sure there's always going to be something there. We eventually would like to have a storefront opened up pretty soon, so I'm
Cool.
sure there will be something with that always to do. Can always
Okay.
expand that. So I see us probably buying at some point more property to
Sure.
rent out to different people. So probably always some sort of project.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
And I
But
think that's good.
volunteering and probably working in exchange for quite a while, and then after that probably still volunteering in it, and I see us hosting someday as well.
No, I think that's important because I see these people that retire and then they don't know what to do. They've
Yeah.
been busy their whole life, and I think it's not. I don't think it's good for most people. So I think Cheryl would probably. Well, she already told me she has a hole in the backyard dug for me if I retire, and she's like, I don't think I would drive her crazy. So, but no, I think it's very important to keep on doing stuff, and it's just age, really, don't even think about the age, just keep on going. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But well, unless you have something else you want to share, or we'll put the contact, your everything for information into the show notes, and maybe come back and do a follow-up podcast sometime down the line.
Yeah, and if you ever are interested, we could probably even have one of our students with us.
Okay, that would be awesome.
To share a little bit, because it's really cool. It's cool to hear from them. We can tell about their experience, but they're living it. So that'd be cool.
I would love that. I will take you up on that. We'll definitely plan on that. So that's very good. So, well, on that, I will end that and look forward to that. And thank you both for doing this. I mean, like I
thanks
said,
for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
We were excited for today.
So, and it's so great. And have a good rest of your day. And thanks again.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.